Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Aditya here. So today we are going to continue our prompt engineering crash course. In that the next topic I'm going to cover is ethical considerations. So yes, by using these generative AI models, we need to consider some ethical concerns. So we'll see what are those ethical concerns. Okay, the first one is privacy. Definitely the dataset includes personal data. So this leads to data breach if it fails or falls in wrong hands. So since this generative AI model was right created on publicly available domain data and it could include the personal data also. So if we create a prompt and it generated a response which is having someone's personal data, right? Like his Aadhaar number or his SSN number. And if we share that response to some other person which was a wrong hand, then there will be concerns. So that is one thing, the privacy. Okay. The second one is misinformation and manipulation of data. This generative AI literally creates anything like text, images, audio, video, which are fake but seems real. And in our real world, right, we are seeing this kind of fake videos and morphed images, morphed videos, and even it's generating audio, right? Even it will generate any morphed text. So we need to be careful regarding this misinformation and data manipulation and bias awareness. Definitely. Because this generative AI model was trained on publicly available data, right? Public available data. And if the data contains more bias towards a particular race or gender, etc., etc., it will provide you the response in that bias. So we need to look into this part also. So we need to create a prompt, it won't generate the bias. Okay. And ownership or copyright. Since right with respect to ownership and copyright, right, we can't say I am the owner of the code because a lot of gray areas here maybe developer, operator, people or who developed the AI are people who created the data, right? Because AI is working on some data and some data is created by some other person and we are generating something from the AI. So whether it belongs to AI or whether it belongs to me or whether it belongs to the data owner itself, we don't know. So that is one more concern. And the next one is the transparency. Since these generative AI models, what is doing behind the scenes, we don't know, right? There is lack of transparency and explainability. So there are black boxes and lack of full understanding the implications of the technology and what it can do. So we don't know. If you someone came and give you some AI model, you don't know what is doing, what the process is going behind the scenes. So we don't have transparency. And job displacement. This is a valid concern because in future uh, people are replaced by this AI. It could be real, but at least someone who learned about this AI and prompt engineering could able to get more jobs than the others. And next, for this all ethical concerns, right? What are the solution? So we need to find out solution also, right? We have these many ethical concerns, but what are the solutions for these ethical concerns? So we'll look into it. The solution for ethical concerns is prompt engineering strategy to address ethical concerns is listed below. The first one is at least to some. We have to use at least to some technique. And second one, privacy. Privacy is we need to explicitly provide prompt to not to seek any personal information or generate any personal information and provide a general reminder to adhere to security, privacy and protocols. So when we give this explicit way of telling don't generate any personal information and also give some general reminder, right, to adhere to security, privacy and protocols, then we'll get some response which is not containing any personal information. So if you see the below example, I write in below example, please draft a hypothetical response to a customer who is having trouble logging into their account. And now the important point is remember not to include or request specific personal information in this response and ensure the guidance respects user privacy and security protocols. So whenever we explicitly mention this thing, right, the AI model will follow these instructions and won't violate the user policy and security protocols. And the second one is the misinformation. So how to address this misinformation? So for this also we need to explicitly mention the AI models to generate source for the information or suggest the use of widely used data. So that, right, we are asking the AI model from where you get the data, right? We are asking for the source. And if you see the below example, please explain the main scientific consensus on climate change. Provide references to credible and peer-reviewed sources whenever possible. So whenever we are asking references and also peer-reviewed sources, then this AI model will provide you the sources so that those sources are valid or not, you can validate. So likewise, you can avoid the misinformation. And the next one is the bias and fairness. Even for bias and fairness, we need to explicitly provide to encourage the neutrality in multiple viewpoints. So to help AI for unbiased response. So we have to say think in different viewpoints instead of thinking at an one particular viewpoint so that we can encourage that neutrality and eliminate bias and fairness. And next, if you see this example, please provide a balanced review of science fiction movie some XVG, considering both its strengths and weaknesses without favoring any particular genre. So since this generative AI model may be trained on some data which favors one genre, right? But here we are saying without favoring any particular genre, right? It will give you a neutral response to you. So likewise, you can able to reduce or minimize this bias or fairness. And next one is ownership and copyright issues. In fact, we can't really solve the problem, but we can prevent the model not to generate content by violating existing copyrights. So if you generate some uncopyrighted, non-copyrighted content, it's fine. But if it is an existing copyrights, we need to avoid that. So that we need to explicitly mention in the prompt not to go for generate any copyrighted content. So if you see here, write a short story set in futuristic city where technology has transformed the way people communicate, create unique characters, and explore the impact of this advanced communication system on their lives. Please ensure that all the content you generate is original and does not infringe upon any existing copyrights or use copyrighted material. So here explicitly we are mentioning don't use any copyrighted material so that the generative AI model will understand your instruction and it will try to generate the non-copyrighted content. Okay. So likewise you can minimize or you can own the ownership and eliminate the copyright issues. The next one is the transparency. Since we don't know what is happening behind the scenes, at least we can't crack open the AI black box itself, right? But we can at least get a little bit insights for crafting. So even though we don't know what is happening behind the scenes and how the AI is working behind the scenes, but we can craft, right? At least we'll get some little bit insights. What is the reasoning behind the answer? So how can you achieve that? See the example. Based on the provided medical symptoms, what might the potential what might be potential diagnosis? Please detail your reasoning, the underlying medical principles, and the typical diagnostic process a doctor would follow. So if you give a prompt like this, it will provide a detailed reasoning to you. So why it is suggesting that cure and those instructions, what is the medical principles behind it, and also right how it is thinking like a doctor and providing you the response. So that's it about the ethical considerations. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want to learn more topics. Thanks for watching my video.